Mackems, we're back on the show. Talking Sunderland and everything you know.
Conrad's got the numbers, proper stats machine. Mike's optimistic, living out the Mackem dream. Bowers keeps it steady, cool and level-headed. Wayne's already moaning, man, I'm shattered, I need my bed.
Baby, are you ready to go? Let's get carried away, man. Let's steal the show. Midweek Mackems every Wednesday night. Veterans, passion in the red and white.
Yes, it's Wednesday night. No, it's not. But it's Midweek Mackems on a Monday. Just because, obviously, we've got the game coming on Wednesday. This was the best time we could fit at least three of us in. Mr. Bowers couldn't be with us today, but he'll have his opinion still. Conrad, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, mate. How are you doing?
I'm good. I've got a bit of a cough, so I'm going to try and mute my mic Ep18. So
You two are ill. I was ill about 2 weeks ago, in fairness.
Wayne, are you suffering as well, Wayne?
I am, mate. I have been ropey for the last 3 or 4 days. I'm not on full cylinders, but we'll try our best. We'll soldier on.
Been me coughing in the corner, Wayne asleep, and Conrad just trying to keep the show going.
I'm always asleep, so nothing new there.
Yeah. Watch him be ready for bridging the gap, though, and in full spirit on that one. His priorities, that's what Wayne is now, joking.
Lots to talk about. So let's get straight into it. Welcome, to all the chat through both the channels there.
All three channels were on Bowers. Yeah, because we synced it up. We're on Michael Bowers' channel live, even though he's not here.
Here and he's still getting the views. Whatever channel you're watching on, don't forget to like. I'll ask you early on, so I don't have to ask you again. And make sure you subscribe to all the people above who all make this show possible. So City, the first port of call. Wasn't expecting, as much as I'm the super optimistic one after the last performance against City. I was very, very nervous going into this one. Conrad, what was your thoughts going into City?
Worry. I think me and Wayne had we spoke just before the game started, and it was like this sort of, well, we know we're capable of doing something here, but you know, City absolutely blitzed us the other time, but there was context into why, and it was just a bit, you know, well, if we get something, it'll be great. Let's just hope the lads turn up, which, you know, they absolutely did compared to what they offered against Leeds anyway. Yeah.
Wayne, were you had that conversation with Conrad? Were you feeling the nerves?
Oh, I mean, it was a free hit one, to be fair. I didn't like using the word free hit, but it was, especially with Arsenal winning, was it the day before, a couple of days before, so Man City really had to come here and try and win the game, didn't they? So there was no chance of them resting players, and it was a full-strength City side, really. So I nervous to say the least, but like you say, it was, as it panned out.
Yeah, I mean, when the teams were announced, Wayne, I mean, did you think that was a better team than the first time we played City? Because we've got AFCON to contend with this time. You'd think it'd have been a worse result.
Well, we thought it was going to be a back five, but when I spoke to Conrad before the game, Conrad noticed that Getrauda was actually the one playing right back and the defensive one, wasn't he? And Trey Hume was with the midfielders, and I thought, oh, that's a strange. So we are playing with a back four, which was even more of a worry, you know, a back four against them, but it was a four with the ball, and then it was a five without the ball, as it turned out. But I suppose with the players away, we couldn't really pick anybody else, could we? You know, Mienda was in the team as well, which was good to see. You know, we've been crying out for him to get minutes, and to be fair, he didn't let anybody down. So it was just good to see us have a little bit more directness, and it was good to see us having a go at them and not just sitting back and trying and defend. I think Regis Lebris probably learnt his lesson the first half, especially down at City, where we paid them too much respect, didn't we? And they let them dominate the play, and I think he learnt his lesson, which is good from his part, which is what he's done all season. When something's gone wrong, he's tried to put it right, you know, pretty much straight away. So it was good to see. Good to see.
Yeah. Maximum effort, Conrad, I thought, on that game as well. It was like Wayne just said, we really went at them. It wasn't just sit back and absorb 90 minutes of pressure. We could have easily nicked that one, which feels like the common theme over the last 4 games where, we could have nicked it. And I'm starting to worry we're getting too many draws at the moment.
Yeah, there's a little bit of me without the draws, but yeah, about City, yeah, it was one of them that we had to operate at 100%. If anything less, and City were gonna win the game, we had to be at our very, very best to keep that, especially with the amount of players we had missing. But then when I look back as a group of these 4 games, I'm thinking, God, if we'd have had a full strength team, I'd have backed us to get 8-10 points out of all of this now, actually, when you see them. But hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? But yeah, on the City one, we had to be at our best. And yes, we spotted Gertruida was at right back, and I think that's because we said against Leeds that Okafor was absolutely having Hume's life at right back, and we didn't want him out there. Whereas Gertruida was going to be a bit better under with Savinio, potentially Doku as well. So it was one of those. It was like, well, actually that works better. Hume in the midfield, he can slot back in if it's a 5 or we're out of position and we've come up further forward. But also he's got a good shot on him from distance, and he's got a good sort of knowledge of getting forward on the right-hand side anyway. So it weirdly made sense, and it worked an absolute treat. And yeah, as Wayne said, Mayenda was overdue his turn at getting some minutes there, and more than showed that he is number 1 sort of right-wing forward, second striker, if you will, currently out of all the squad.
Yeah. Got to talk about managing Haaland when you talk about City. When you leave one man on Haaland, you're asking for trouble, unless that man is Nordy.
Well, this is it, isn't it? I mean, to be fair, that's now 2 games he's played against us, and not really. I think he had one big chance in the first half, didn't he? But apart from that, never got a kick down there. He was never in the game either. So, fair play to our centre half. And our Ballard did a good job on him down there, and Nordy absolutely stood up. And I think that's how you've got to play Haaland. You've got to bully him. You've got to be physical and stand up to his physicality, and we did that really, really well. The danger is you focus too much on Haaland, though, and they've got other players around him who can hurt you. But to be fair, defensively, we were absolutely solid against City, absolutely rock solid, and I was really impressed. Nordy just seems to get better and better with every game he plays.
Yeah, it's definitely a theme. It's the most comfortable I've been with a Sunderland defence. Even back in the days of like John O'Shea and Wes Brown and stuff like that, there was still constant nervous moments. I love that one. There's still constant nervous moments. But with this defence, I seem to be a lot more relaxed. They just seem to be able to cope and handle it. And I mean, Alderete has his moments, but he's still as smooth as you like when he takes the ball around somebody. It just looks comfortable.
He does. I mean, the only thing that worries me is obviously we're saying how Trey Hume got kind of torched against Okafor. We know when everybody's fitting back from AFCON and everybody's fitting fine. We've all said I don't think Trey Hume gets on the side. Dennis Certain, is another one who obviously you've got doubts about. Is he good enough to play at this level? I've still got my doubts, to be fair. He did all right. I think he struggled against Leeds, but against City he didn't do too bad. Defensively, he was much better. Did a good job. Was it Shirky he was playing against on that left hand side? I thought he did all right, to be fair, because Shirky has been decent for City from what I've seen from this season. So certainly had a good game against City. So, and I think putting Gertruida at right back was the right move because he's better defensively than what Trey Hume is. So, and obviously when you see Doku come on, you think he would go again because Doku, he's just a bag of tricks. It's like, why they're signing Semenyo, I didn't know when they've got him, but it's strange when you've just luxuries of signing them type of players.
Yeah, strange indeed. No goals to mention of, Conrad, but who was your standout players for the City game for you?
It has to be probably most of the back 4, really. Nordy, especially, just because every time the ball was pumped up to Haaland, he won the header. Every time it was put into Haaland's feet, he got there before him. Every time, Haaland was running after the ball, Nordy was running after him, overlapping him, and got there first. And it was just like the most dominant sort of display of an absolute goal machine I've ever seen. Like you say, he had that one chance, which he just passed straight at Roos, and, nothing else happened. So Nordy, struggle to think of him having a bad or an off game for us since he's been here. Don't get me wrong, he's had a moment like against Spurs when he randomly gave the ball away when he was like one of the last centre-backs, and you sort of go like, Jesus, what are you doing? But then for the other 89 minutes, it was like, hang on, this guy is just like, why do you play for us? You're so good. Like, what? Even Xhaka said it after the City game when he went, when I came here, the first thing I did was I called Nordy because I knew exactly what type of person he is and what type of ability he has. And it was a bit like, yeah, he got it straight away. And yeah, Nordy was my player of the match against City. I'd like to be able to give it to one of the attackers, but we had 3 shots, probably similar to City in the end. And because we didn't actually really test Donnarumma, I think I have to give it to one of the defenders, just keeping Haaland quiet. And when we're the only team he's never scored against now in the Premier League.
Aye, that's right.
As well as a competent defence, having a masterclass keeper behind them as well is brilliant. And when he wore the strip, he wore the strip.
He wore the actual strip. Aye.
I can wear my shirt now, not thinking it's an unused strip.
Aye, it's that was a very rare occurrence. Aye, but I mean, it's still something when you're frustrated. You come away from City. It's a fantastic point and a fantastic performance, and everybody in that ground would have took a point before the game, but you just wish if Robbie had took that chance, how different it could have been. You know,
doesn't it feel like a common thing this season though? So close, everything's so close. Like Liverpool, we could have beat them so easily. Everything was so close. Speaking of so close and draws, let's move on to the next game, because guess what? There's another draw.
Well, hang on. We've got to see what Michael Bowers said, surely.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry, I forgot about Bowers. You've got controls as well.
No.
Yeah, so here's Michael Bowers on the City game.
Hello, all you lovely lot watching Midweek Mackems as always. Subscribe, of course, to Podcsst TV, Only Fools in Safc, and if you want to subscribe to mine, it'll be much appreciated. Congrats to Wayne and Mike and Conrad for the strides they're making on their YouTube channels. It's really great to see that the Midweek Mackem army is starting to grow ever further, isn't it? And thanks to everyone who's continuing to watch these. Love these lads to bits. I'm really enjoying doing the podcast. And I think they are as well, and hopefully you guys are all enjoying watching. Sorry that I can't be there tonight. As you're watching this right now, I am pretty much at work, so I've not been able to make the episode tonight. But I thought I'd just quickly give my thoughts across the 2 games that we've just played, in Man City and in against Tottenham, which are 2 draws that I would say are pretty solid ones. In fact, I think it's pretty solid in case of Tottenham, and an outstanding point against Man City. So let's start with Man City. I think there's a narrative going around after the Man City game that Sunderland just sat back and just protected a 0-0 and that was it. And the last half an hour that might be true, because City did have some good chances. But I think a couple of points to bear in mind. One, I think it's disingenuous to Sunderland to say that we just sat back and didn't create anything. I think that's a load of nonsense. I think we actually did create chances. If you want to name 3 in particular, you're talking the Brobby one, which you fired straight at Donnarumma. You're talking the Hume one, which was a free header right before half-time. And then the Mayenda one, which is when, I can't remember who it was, maybe Lafay or whoever it was, that finds a great pass to him, and he ends up getting past Ake, and they just shoot straight at Donnarumma. But it's still a very, very big chance, in my opinion. So I think it's unfair to say that we didn't create any chances, because we did. And I think, and then I think secondly, because Man City, the money they've spent, man, and the team that they've got, I mean, this is how mental their squad is. Doku and Rodri came on against us. And straight away with Rodri, you could tell their tempo increased exponentially as soon as he came on, and they started to turn the screw a bit. And I'm so glad that unless we advance against Everton in the Cup, which I hope we do, obviously, and I'm going as well, by the way. I'm going to Brentford and Everton, just so people are aware of this. So obviously, I'll be down in London and then in Merseyside at the weekend, which I'm quite looking forward to. And hopefully it's worth it. But unless we get through past Everton and get into the FA Cup 4th round, and get Man City, we don't have to, unless that happens, we don't have to play them again this season. And I'm quite thankful, actually, because once Rodri gets fully up to speed, I know Man City drew it at the weekend against Chelsea, but I think once they get up to speed, I think they'll really test. I know the gap's 6 points to Arsenal, but I think they'll really test them for the league. So I think it's going to be a fascinating title race, and I'm so glad in the Premier League we don't have to play City again. We've played them twice, thank goodness for that. Their squad is just a different level, but I felt Sunderland more than match City for large spells, and deserved the point because of how many bodies on the line we put, and how resilient and grit, like full of bite and tenacity and character and everything. And I actually think I've seen a few mixed receptions on the atmosphere. I think it was one of the best atmospheres of the season, personally. Although I am in the southwest corner, which is the singing end, pretty much, or is the most singing end, I suppose. Every end will obviously have its share of people who like to sing songs and start chants, but yeah, I mean, I think the atmosphere was really good, and I think it was a kind of an us against them mentality for Man City. And I would argue that's our best home performance this season, Man City. I thought we were really, really good. I know, obviously, Arsenal, I wasn't at the Arsenal game, which is the only home game I've missed this season because my two cousins who live with me auntie in Manchester have their birthdays, one on the 7th of November and one on the 10th of November. And that was either side of the Arsenal game, so I wasn't able to go to it, unfortunately. But I did manage to watch it. And to be fair, I still think we played better. I think our overall better balance was better against City. And Arsenal at least had a spell of real dominance, whereas I felt City, although they were having good chances, I felt Sun stood up to them a bit better than we did against Arsenal. And that's not a dig at us against Arsenal, because Arsenal are a good team as well. But to move on to Spurs, yeah, outstanding point in my opinion against Man City. Really outstanding point. And to stop them from scoring as well. And it ended a 6-game winning streak that they were on.
A man of few words. We know when his cousin's birthdays are and everything, not to procrastinate. But yeah, I mean, he makes a valid point with the chances. That header from Meander, yeah, it's fresh in my mind as he said it, and that was probably I was begging.
You mean Hume?
Hume's header in this at half time.
For no, the cross into Meander. Wasn't it Meander?
No, it's Hume.
That was Saturday's game. That was on Sunday. That one.
He's on about City there. So it's Hume with the free header, Brobby with the shot at Donnarumma, and Mayenda with the shot from distance.
It was a good save actually from Donnarumma. That one from Mayenda was a decent save, to be fair.
Too many draws, losing track. Anyway, let's move on to Spurs, which I'm probably more disappointed with, and I'm sure you might be feeling the same way, especially the first half. But first off, the lineups, Conrad, we think it was fair, the team selection against Spurs?
Yeah, I don't think we hadn't made a change, had we, to the lineup? I think it was exactly what I would have done. There was no one on the bench who came off against City or came on against City that I thought, you were way better than your alternative or your opposite number there. So I thought, yeah, we had to go for the same lineup, same system, same everything. Just wish we could have done the same intensity for the first half as the Man City game. Yeah,
it's it just looked like fatigue and tiredness. Do you not think, Wayne? I mean, there's no excuse for it, in my opinion. Even if you have just had a game and you have travelled to London, it just looked lackluster completely that first 45 minutes.
That's it. You know, it's chalk and chase on the City game. I did say in my match preview video that this could happen. You know, after the effort, everybody's on a bit of a come down from that game, and I don't know. There was miles off the pace in the first half. There was second to every ball. You know, and like you see, that's the same for both sides over this Christmas period. That everybody's had the same amount of games to play. Difference being other teams have probably got players that can put in, whereas we down with the bare bones, we probably had to pick the same team. Obviously, Isidore wasn't playing; it wasn't in the squad injured, so there was another. You know, Robbie had to play the full game unless we put Chuterov on, but he was never going to get a game. So our options were limited, weren't they? So there was not really anything else we could do. So Bright was just really, really disappointing first half performance, especially with them being so fragile at home. I thought, but if we'd stepped onto them and pushed the first half, us getting the first goal could have been a different story. But we allowed them to dominate and allowed them to play, and the goal was coming long before it did. To be fair,
yeah. I don't think I can take anything away from their goal from Ben Davies. It was a good goal. Another quality display of refereeing though, Conrad.
Yeah, I can take lots away from their goal, which was the fact that I thought Alderete was clearly being held, who was the one who was following Romero to the back post when he clearly got held. Yet in 2 games of ours this season, and Brighton and West Ham as well, that was given as a penalty when someone did that to an attacking player. So surely it's a foul on the defender.
Probably got held as well, didn't he? At one point.
At one point, yeah, absolutely. So it's refereeing inconsistencies again. But even when he went out there and Alderete was fouled, I then got annoyed at Alderete because he stopped and went. And it's like, just turn round. He hasn't, he's not whistled. Just play.
Play to the whistle. Play to the whistle.
The amount of people that stopped, he passed it to Van der Ven. He took a shot and it hit off Davies, or Davies diverted it in the smallest gap you could find. But hey, it went in. And it was just one of those that was like, well, this has been coming. And this is really annoying because of how poor it actually was. You almost want them to just ping it in from 30 yards and go, well, there's an out we could have done about that. Well done. It's more annoying when it's avoidable and it's soft, which is exactly what it was. And I was sitting there going, oh, God. And then I was starting to think of our defeats this season going, God, and it's hard to do this, so I appreciate what I'm about to say here. We always play poorly when we lose. And I appreciate you don't normally play well when you lose. But, it's...
I know what you mean. We never give as good as we got and then lost.
Like if we'd have played like that, like we did against Man City and lost 1-0, I'd have come out of that going like, well, we were really good. It's just Man City or Man City. But every defeat we've had this season, I've gone, God, this is poor. Apart from after half an hour against Man United where I thought we were even with them, it was just like we've always had something that's just not quite right, which is what's been annoying about them. And that was what was going on in the first half. So it felt a bit like same old of, oh, we're playing like shit. Right, okay, well, here we go. We're just going to sort of get through this sort of next 45 minutes, drag ourselves along and lose 1-0, when actually if we'd have just upped the effort a little bit, or some of the players were back, or we had our full strength team, it wouldn't be like this. But thankfully, someone put a rocket up their arse at half time, or Thomas Frank really knows how to kill a vibe at Spurs, which it could be either at the moment. We were a lot better. I saw a video though the other day that said Spurs were the better side for 70 minutes. I don't know what he was watching in the.
I don't know what game he was watching. Then that's telling anywhere near from all the second half. We were the better side. And more disappointing was when they lost Kudos, who was their best player. That's when we should have jumped on them.
Yeah, we got even worse when they took off their best creativity.
I mean, if I was a Spurs fan, I'd be fuming because when they walked 1-0, as bad as we were playing, they should have jumped on us. They should have proper went for the second goal and killed us off because we were there for the taking.
Absolutely, we were. Yeah. They should have tried to get 2 or 3 before they even had, even we had chance to react and what have you there. But it was. Well, I mean, sorry, just to answer that question there, it happened against Everton as well, where we trained poorly all week, and they even said, it took them that long to wake up. So we're putting it down to lethargic, like fatigued and what have you. But I get what you're saying that, well, shouldn't that work the other way around, that you tire sooner? But not necessarily. It might take you longer to get going to that pace. You really having to push yourself to get up to that sort of standard and that sort of playing capacity. Really, it can work that way as well, that you find it difficult to start yourself rather than sort of finish yourself.
with that in with finishing yourself in mind.
With finishing off.
Wayne, it can't be physical fatigue as such. Like, say, if they've suddenly got all that in the tank for the second 45 minutes, it's got to be a mental block or something about traveling or what would you put it down to?
I don't know. That's the frustrating thing, isn't it? It's not the first time it's happened this season where we're the exact same 11 who were brilliant against Manchester City, then suddenly put in a honking first half like that. You cannot work it out. You cannot work it out. It's so frustrating. I mean, Ben Davies, for them, playing his first Premier League game of the season, he's not a left back. Mayenda should have been running him down the line ragged.
And Mayenda hasn't even been playing.
So go on.
I was just going to say, he's had the biggest rest out of everybody in that team so far. He hasn't played since August.
So that was disappointing for me. And it was the passing that was everything. There were, like, Adingra got bullied so badly off Porro. Every time he got the ball, Porro shoved him off the ball, and that was it. So weak.
That can happen against Porro. I mean, I know I was very disappointed in Adingra again, but Porro is one of the better, more physical right backs. So it was, if there was ever a way to stop Adingra, which was get in his face and almost bully him, it worked an absolute treat, because he doesn't seem the player who likes a 50-50 and likes a sort of shoulder-to-shoulder challenge. He seems more of a player who wants to knock it and run or get skills to get past someone. So if you get someone who wants to just get into him, he's probably going to back out of challenges and decisions, isn't he?
Yeah. I think we as fans can see when we play this high press and we press as a team and we really take a game to the other team, it's when we're playing our best football. And other people have commented on the atmosphere at Sunderland where they're cheering every tackle and stuff like that. And same with the away fans, all the travelling fans doing the same thing. It's just... How do we get that consistent? I don't understand how it must be frustrating for Labrie, right?
Can I just point out as well that this might be a controversial take, but Wayne, I think you'll agree with me in this, especially the City game, that there was even a bit of fatigue from the fans in the last two games where we started the game. You didn't really hear them at Spurs. You didn't really hear us against Man City. And then the game started to warm up, and so did the fans. And by the end, there was only one set of fans you were hearing in both games, which almost mirrors exactly what the team did against Spurs, where it was like this sort of...
Is that chicken and egg, though? It's because you're not seeing the performance that's making you feel like
Exactly. But we've had plenty of games where we've turned up and done this great atmosphere, and then the team just don't match it. So I go back to... Do you remember when we played... quite ironically, Everton in the FA Cup quarter-final at home, and it was like, it was under Martin O'Neill, and it was 1-1 down at their place, and we brought them back to ours, and it was like, oh my God, we're going to get to an FA Cup semi-final. And there was this almost like such a big game atmosphere at the stadium, and I remember this is where I think that just before relegation, this is where a little bit of my support almost died, because he set us up so defensively to sort of frustrate, and then Everton just nicked when we offered nothing, and there was this atmosphere, this sort of, oh my God, we're actually going to get to Wembley in a proper game that matters in my life. And lo and behold, next year we actually got to Wembley anyway in a final, but we didn't know that at the time. And it was just one of those that it just sort of always flattered to deceive a bit. And then now we sort of apart from Newcastle, or if the game matters in terms of relegation, Europe qualifying, whatever like that, there's always this sort of sense of going into it a bit sort of cautiously and then growing in with the team, which I've noticed that most of our home games this season, apart from West Ham and Newcastle.
Aye. It could be as well, the amount of games everybody's knackered, even the fans are all knackered, because then they'll be the same away fans who've been all over the country. So it could be a bit of that as well. So,
I was knackered against Leeds. I had nothing to give. I mean, I was even videoed at the beginning by Sky, when they were doing the Wiseman set, and I was stood there like... It's like the one time that they didn't video when I'm singing along, and I was like, I look like a lazy bastard in the crowd.
Whatever the reason was, they obviously got a Xhaka-shaped or Labrie-shaped firework up their ass at half-time in a Peter Reid-esque half-time team. I like to think all the half-time team talks is just Peter Reid from Premier Passions swearing at them. That's what I like to think. But whatever happened, we came out firing in the second half. Completely different team. The same team, but completely different attitude coming out into the second half, really taking the game to him. And, of course, the goal, we got one back. So, I mean, Wayne, talk us through the goal. What do you think of that?
Oh, it was a hell of a team.
Wouldn't have happened if Easterdale was on. Just throwing that out.
Started from the back, didn't it? I think was it Nordy started it off, and then Xhaka to Nordy, then the 1-2 between Lafia and Brobby, and Brobby. It's a good job Annette was there, because it would have took somebody's head off if it had gone through the pace it was travelling. And I'm pleased for Brobby, and I think that was a bit of frustration from Brobby's part as well, because we're not in games, we're not getting him in games. That's the type of thing he thrives on. I'm pleased. The last couple of games we have been starting to try and play a ball over the top. We did it against City, which was hurting them, and we did it a little bit against Spurs in the second half. And I think that's the way forward to get him into the game more. But just frustrating, just leathered it, and it's gone in. It was a great team goal. But the fact is, we stepped up the pitch 3 or 4 yards, and you could see the difference. And that's all it took, And like you see, you're disappointed with Spurs in a big stadium like that, and that they didn't kind of try to kill us off. But the frustrating thing away from home, we've only scored 5 goals away from home this season, which that's a terrible stat, isn't it? A terrible stat.
It's definitely frustrating on the road at the moment. Conrad, the goal, as well as Brobby's.
Conrad's thinking that's 5 goals. Is that correct?
Yeah, no.
I was sitting there going, is it? I was like, and then I was like, right, well, there was Forest is the first one, isn't it? And then it was 2 at Chelsea, Liverpool, and who's the other one?
Spurs,
yeah. Okay. No, obviously, it was literally yesterday. Yeah, of course.
So you got to talk about Lafi's part in that as well, because he had a stunning game in that second half.
Yeah, he really did. Especially, I think, in the first half, he was dropping really deep almost with Xhaka to try and go and get the ball off the defenders, which was a big problem. Like Wayne said, that we were sat that far back, really. There was this utter disconnect probably between the back and the front of the sort of team, highlighted by that one random pass, which I don't know why it didn't belong in football, but when was it Alderete rolled it forward to Brobby, who just stood in the half line on his own, like with that guy behind him, and just went, I'm not moving to it. And the ball like started to actually slow down. And everyone was like, oh, I'm not getting near him. Are you getting near him? I'm not.
We'll just let him wait.
Yeah, just let him have it. It's fine. We'll get it off him if he passes it. Yeah, and then especially when I think then moved up a bit further up the pitch and started to try and connect the midfield or the wing backs within the sort of play, that was when we started to get better at it. And we were more aggressive. We were far too respectful in that first half of Tottenham and what they offered. We needed to be a bit, I don't want to say nasty. We weren't
there in the first half.
Well, yeah, I don't want to say nasty, but we needed to be aggressive and we needed to be sort of a bit confrontational with it. Highlighted when, was it Tell pretended that he'd been elbowed and Nordy just got up and screamed in his face. And one underrated bit I know Wayne was on about Brobby taking someone's head off if the net wasn't there. I liked in his celebration that he looked like he was going to fight the entire fucking stand. He just sort of ran up to the advertising board. It was just like, rah!
I'll still put a tenner on him to win.
and I remember watching it going like, Jesus, I'd hate. Like, I don't know if any of you watched the trailers for 28 Years Later. The big alpha character in it at the moment that like is meant to be. That's Brobby.
Isn't he Jekyll and Hyde though? He's like his interview after the game. He's like, well, Enzo passed the ball and I scored.
Yeah, he needs to calm down. He was far too excited in that interview.
That might be a language thing though. He might be processing.
Yeah. He was just like, Nordy, cut it back. Enzo, 1, 2, boom. That was it. It was like, okay, fair enough.
For me, the change came when Ballard came on and we went to that back three and Nordy started bombing forward as right wing back. That was the difference because it allowed us to get forward. Like somebody said in the chat there, Enzo could then go and play 4 or 5 yards further forward.
Yeah.
Had the difference.
Absolutely. He was so much better going forward and allowing that space. And we were getting so much joy on that side. Shame we couldn't quite get something going on the left side, whether it be a Dinger, Mundle, or even Sirkin going forward. There was nothing really on that sort of left side. So we sort of know that, right, well, it's got to come from the right side, whether that's going to be Hume in the overlap, whether it's going to be Nordy, Enzo, any of those sort of players getting in. And I'm glad almost, and this is going to be weird for me to say, Mike, and don't have a heart attack, that Isidore was kind of injured, because it meant that we had to stick with the striker and give him the time to do it. Because every game, if you think back to it, no matter who the striker is, at 60 minutes we go, off you come, somebody else's turn. And it was a bit like you said, that goal wouldn't have happened. Like Isidore wasn't going to do that 1-2 and run onto it and play. That's not his game. He would have probably wanted someone to play it in behind him in Nordy's position straight away, like to run onto, or it just wasn't.
If we're 1-0 down, I don't want to see Reggie Labrie swap out the striker. I want to see him swap out somebody and add a striker.
Although that was weird when we were chasing the game. And was it Ballard for Adingra? Was it? That felt like, but I think we all knew that it was like, he's going to put 3 at the back and he's going to move.
And it's different with Ballard because he has an attacking threat.
He has a presence, absolutely. And we were like, well, he's either going to go play up front and cause chaos, a bit like when Man United used to stick Maguire up there, or he's going to be a bit more aggressive for their counter attack, that he's going to step out and get in first with it. He's a big player.
Ignoring the first half, then who's your man of the match, Wayne?
It's the same as your video, Wayne. It's the same as me.
Nordy be my man of the match. I thought he was tremendous again. He's just a monster, and he's just so strong, and just everything he does, just quality and class. And like was being seen there when Xhaka after the game said, as soon as he signed, he said, "We're going to get Nordy." Type of play when he at the club, so that just says it all. So, for me, Nordy was. I mean, Broby had a decent game as well. I thought second half he looked better, came into the game, but Nordy was just tremendous.
Yeah, Conrad, same answer.
Same answer. 2 games in a row, just for this and whoever plays for Tottenham as well. I will say, I saw this the other day, and it's part of what we're talking about on here as well. But don't forget, just a reminder, we sold Job and paid for all 3 of these.
That's mad, isn't it? That's absolutely nuts, that.
Good business. Good business.
mental
My man of the match is not Nordy. I think it was on the previous game. It was brilliant, but I've got to give it to Lafay, to be fair. Enzo's, I've had my doubts about him this season, as you all know, like backing out of challenges and stuff. But
apparently, Tam,
yeah,
a viewer of ours, Wayne hates Enzo.
Well, I don't hate him. I just think, for me, he's too lightweight in that midfield. And I think when everybody's fit, he's the one misses out, because it'll be Diarra, Siddiqui, and Xhaka.
Yeah, and I get where that's coming from. That's what I've said about him. He backs out of challenges sometimes. He doesn't go in sometimes.
He drafts. I'll give him that. But for me, he's got a mistake in him. He's a little bit like Dan Neil, where he'll have a misplaced pass in a bad area and it'll cost you. Did it against Arsenal, dwelt on the ball, but conceded a goal. Almost did it against Leeds. I think he did the same thing. Tries these little tricks and flicks in poor areas. And at this level, that you get caught out. So that's the only reason why. I mean, he's a good player, but when everybody's fit, he doesn't get in my team.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry, Tam.
The power of the headband might prove you wrong. We'll see how he goes.
And he looked at the headband, man. That's another reason why he shouldn't be playing. He looked an absolute tail end.
It's a beautiful headband.
We got grumpy Wayne. We'll give Wayne 2 minutes to chill, and we'll hear from Michael Bowers. Then I'll come to your comments. I have been starring them. I know there's 140 of you in here. I'm trying to do it all, but we'll get to them.
So right now while you watch Michael Bowers.
And to move on to Spurs, I think the first half we were very sluggish and very and I suspect, to link the two games together in this video, I think that the Man City performance probably took a lot out of Sunderland, and I think in the first half you could definitely notice it, because we were leggy, slow, lethargic, we were a bit ponderous sometimes. I think that the one biggest thing that I've said before that I think that needs to improve for me is our on the ball retention. I think needs to be much better, and I felt a couple of times we were giving the ball away far too easily. The goal, I think, was a really poor one to give away from a set piece. Obviously there was someone who put an initial effort towards the goal, and then Ben Davies just basically stabs it home, and he's just unmarked, which for me is really poor. And I felt, but Spurs did deserve the lead at half time, and I felt the only good thing about half time was that we were still in the tie. Or the game rather, we were still in the game, and it wasn't done at that stage. So that was literally the only good thing about it. And thankfully, because of that, Sunderland then were able to regroup and go together second half. Now, a part of it might be down to the fact that Thomas Frank and Tottenham decided to sit back against us, which is admittedly questionable if you're of the Spurs persuasion, I must admit, to a newly promoted club. But I felt Sunderland found the extra energy, the extra intensity, the extra levels, and really started to get their foot on the ball and started to try and dictate the game and get much closer to the standard we've seen so far this season in the Premier League. And I think even Phil McNulty, the guy who's like the main football writer for BBC Sport, he was at the game and he said it himself. Sunderland were much more like standard pretty much second half, or we fell well below it in the first half. But in the second half, we were significantly better. And I think, if you look at the cross Mukiele put into Lafay when he hit the post, that was a fantastic effort from Mukiele there. And obviously Lafay is probably unlucky with that one. But then, of course, the goal, which is a really good bit of team play in the build-up to it. It's not quite as good as the team goal Leeds annoyingly had to score against us over a week ago. But, at the time recording anyway, it was still very, very good. And the link-up between Brobby and Lafay in the couple of seconds in the build-up to the goal was fantastic. And the finish wasn't half bad either. Just lashes it home into the top left corner. I can only imagine how many scenes there would have been in that away end at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium when that goal did go in. And in general, I thought it was deserved. And even after the equaliser, I thought we were the ones that were looking more likely we could try and win it. So overall, I think I've said constantly to the lads, I wanted to get the 30 points before Everton in the Cup.
There we go. That's Michael Bauer's take, coming to you live from some random bedroom where he's got more stuff on top of the wardrobe than in
Probably
the wardrobe
his.
for some reason. I'm just and we're gonna all chip together for Christmas and get him a tripod, because this arm's just
I was just going to say that he's keep on swapping between his things.
Although it is a skill how steady he keeps it when swapping arms. It's amazing. I'd be like,
yeah.
Got on the phone.
Yeah.
Let's get a few of the comments in. Some of them are from earlier on. I've just tried to star a couple of them just so we could get you guys involved. Wolsey said, bit ahead of ourselves, but reckon he will play the kids / Dan Neil and CO in the FA Cup. Some of the players must be running on empty at the moment. What do you think of that? Do you think he'll go for it in the Cup and play a full team? You're going to head down to Everton, aren't you?
I think we might play. I think you might rest a couple of players. I think, you might have a couple of players back from AFCON that might, like Ryan might drop in there. Traore might be back in time. Probably Daniel might play. Patterson will probably play. But apart from that, Ballard just come back from injury. He'll probably play to get some minutes in him. So I don't think it'll be too changed. We haven't really got the options really, especially up front. So Mundell might probably start. Meander will probably keep his place. So I don't think it'll be that many changes.
Conrad, is the league more important though? Can we just play the kids and then not worry about it if we lose?
No, I want us to actually give the FA Cup a proper go. Yeah. Like it's almost like, I know for the last few years it's sort of been one of those necessary evils that we sack off the Carabao Cup quite early on or put out a weakened team and go, if we go out, we go out. It doesn't matter. But we're on 30 points after 20 games. We can afford to give this FA Cup game a go, especially considering Everton aren't that good at home recently, and we were pretty good against them for the second half in our game. I think it's come at almost the right time that you've got Reynildo that will almost definitely back for Everton. Potentially you've got Siddiqui and you've got Traore, who could also be back depending on tomorrow night's result. Talby's qualified; they're in the next round, so they'll be in the next one. Same as Diarra as well, so they'll be in the next one there. So you could have three of them back for that game, and then that means you can afford to probably rest a few. I would probably take Sirkin out of it, and I want to put them straight in as well to go get yourself back ready, because even if we lose and they play, we've got to consider the Crystal Palace game the week after, and I'd like them to have got some minutes back in the team with us, rather than just sort of dropping them straight into the league game. That was my only criticism about the way Sirkin's been handled as well in the last few games, that I wanted him to get 10-15 minutes against Brighton towards the end so that he was ready for the Leeds game, because that's why against Leeds it felt like it took him a long time, probably the whole game actually, to sort of get up to speed with the fact of where it was, because he hadn't played with it before. And I want to have a run in the FA Cup. Shoot me. We're a Premier League side now. We should be actually taking this seriously.
Exactly. I agree. That's why I don't think we'll see too many changes. And Everton, like you say, Everton got thumped off Brentford at the weekend at home. So, they're having a little bit like Tottenham, having a bit of a hangover with this new stadium. It's not all gone to plan for them. So
I've no problems with him playing a few of the youngsters, a few of the people that are not getting game time, as long as we've got that strong bench. And he's very proactive with it. If we go 1-0 down or 2-0 down, you touch wood, God forbid, but he makes changes earlier on. You know what I mean?
I could see like Mundell starting in the front with like Brobby and Mayenda. That's not a problem, but it's more the back line needs to still be, Nordy, Ballard, Alderete, and Reynildo, and probably Roofs. Just for the sake of it, and then you go, Xhaka, you're going to play, but you might come off later for Catreda, depending on how the results go in, and mix it up a bit like that. Siddiqui, you're going to play the full game, deal with it, and Diarra's not going to be back for that one as well. So you go, well, Enzo, you're still going to play. Rig might start, but again, if it's not going right by 45, off you come. I want to win this game.
Definitely. John McKinney said Mukiele, Hume, Alderete deserve a pay rise or a bonus for the effort and determination they put in the last week or two. Definitely
have a pay rise in their probably have a pay rise.
What about the effort we've put in? Well, the short week is a pay rise or not?
Yeah, we could go from 0 up to 0.0.
Yeah. Hey, but if you do this, it really helps us out.
Yeah. There's 145 of you. Don't forget, like and subscribe and all that. That's all we ask.
I didn't congratulate him on the last time we did a show, so congrats, Wayne. And me and Mike have just hit 3,500. So
5,000, 3,500. Michael Bowers, I don't know what he's on.
6,500
or something.
6,700. Yeah.
On his way to 7.
Oh, don't, Conrad. Oh, that's cringe. Oh, that's getting snipped.
Yeah. That's our niche. He does it all the time, man.
Mr. Board Jingles, controversial, but Nordy is edging out Xhaka for my player of the season. Oof.
He's up there. Absolutely.
There's going to be a lot of contenders for that. Is our defense good because they're all Champions League caliber? Are they Champions League caliber, do you think? Are we ready for that? I mean, I know you joke when I said about Europe and stuff, but if we were to go do we need massive investment, or do you think we're at a caliber where we could challenge already?
No, we just need cover. We need cover for what we've got, because I just think, if you've got that back four of Nordy, Ballard, Alderete, and Ryan is probably, a back four to challenge some of the best ones in the Prem for me.
Yeah,
easy.
Definitely. I'd agree.
Yeah, some of the shite that gets into the Champions League nowadays, just because
Exactly,
you're the top team in Romania or something. I already think, we
just need to move the club, is what you're saying, and then we can
make a stand or something.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think so. I mean, I don't want to say that's like, we batter, the top sides in the Champions League or anything like that. Not at all. But I more than think that back four, like they've all played in Europe anyway. So why wouldn't it be?
Here's a scary one. Will Labrie be poached by a bigger club?
There are no bigger clubs.
Good answer.
Good answer.
Yeah. I did little bit worry when Chelsea sacked their manager, and I was like, ooh, like, oh no, they're going to come calling. But I actually thought, I was like, why would he go? It's a basket case, and it's the same with Man United.
Exactly,
it's the same with Spurs. They're all basket cases of clubs that you're just not going to get right.
He's building up such a reputation because of how we're coming up and how well we're doing. It'd be stupid to go at this
I'm
stage.
not saying he's going to stay here forever. Like, if he does really well with us, let's say we get into Europe and we do it again next year, and someone like PSG comes calling, somewhere back in his home country, I don't think we can stand in the way of that.
We'll have Xhaka for these stepping shoes in.
Or France came calling, something like that. You never know. But no, why would the bigger clubs at the minute that I consider are like the big six, and why would you go to three of them currently? And
that's it, exactly.
City aren't going to get rid of Pep anytime soon, especially if he's going to offer to stay. They're going to keep him. Liverpool, maybe, but I don't think they would look at Labrie over the candidates, and Arsenal are the same. I don't think they would look at. Arteta's onto a winner at the moment, so they wouldn't get rid of him. But you're not going to go Man United because it's mental. You're not going to go Chelsea.
Let's not even think it. Let's not even think it into existence.
Yeah,
it's just the answer's no. There's no club bigger. I'll stick with that. Beanburger Man said, I love Broby's response when they asked him what he was thinking before he took that shot. He said, sometimes it's better not to think, just shoot.
He needed that.
Tell more of the players that.
Isidore Mayenda needed that in the 93rd minute against Man City at home when they were dicking about with it on the edge of the box. Just put your foot through it and have a go.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully more players take that on board. Broby must be so frustrated seeing very little of the ball and having defenders climbing all over him all the time. I think it just adds to his strength training. He's not an issue with it. Hot take, but I actually think we miss Job sometimes. Having a big lad who can carry the ball forward is so important, breaking the press and getting...
Just wait for Diarra to be...
That's what Diarra should be doing,
Diarra does that when he comes back. That's what we've missed. Diarra does that.
Yeah. Whose idea was it to cram all these games together? Idiots. We agree.
We need a break like Germany.
Labrie is the weird Wenger.
He reminds me a lot of Arsene Wenger, to be fair. The way he conducts himself, he reminds me a hell of a lot of Arsene Wenger.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Right. Have we got any activities?
Not from me.
I've got one.
Are you not doing it this time, Wayne?
I've just been on my sick bed, and I've got I need time to put one together.
I've got one. So it's I don't know if you saw last week the one, Mike, where it was the top 10 Premier League goal scorers for Sunderland of all time. You just had to guess those. So, but again, just to sort of get everyone used to the concept of it, I have just literally gone with the top 10 appearance makers for Sunderland. So. Who has made the most
makers?
The people who've made the most appearances in the Premier League for Sunderland.
Mickey Gray.
Mickey Gray is in at number 4
in the Premier League.
With he had 166 starter, 9 as a sub. That doesn't make sense, but okay.
Who do you want?
I heard Arca, and what was your one, Mike?
I was going to say Phillips.
Phillips is in there. Arca is not. Phillips is in at number 6.
No, Quinn's got to be with him then.
Quinn's got to be with him.
Quinn is in at number 8. He has 10 less than Arkev.
Claudio Reyna?
You mad? Claudio Reyna? He was there for like 2 years.
It was all Premier League, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's okay. The lowest on this list is 122.
Is it? Dear me. Seb Larsson?
Seb Larsson, yes, second. I wouldn't have thought that one as well, but yeah, Seb Larsson is second with 176.
If we class them all.
Catamol. Yeah, number 5, 169.
Oof.
Let's see what people are saying in the comments. Don't forget those ones as well, Mike.
Charlie Early.
Good ones.
Charlie Early.
Playing in the Premier League.
Sorensen, SJ said.
Sorensen squeezes in at number 9. Yep, 126.
Nice. My brother's gone Craig Gordon.
Craig Gordon is not on this list.
No.
Kevin Boyle, he's in there.
No, Kevin Ball. We weren't in the Premier League the whole time when we had Kevin Ball a lot. Like, if you think we were up and down, weren't we?
Yeah.
O'Shea.
O'Shea, yeah, number 1, John O'Shea. I thought you'd get him first, but yeah, okay.
What have we got left?
You've got 3rd, 7th, and 10th.
Oh.
Tarquin's just put Michael Gray. We've got him. Wolsey's
Wes
put
Brown.
someone it isn't. Wes Brown. Yeah, I was going to say not Wes Brown.
Oh, was injured?
Yeah, always
Kevin
injured.
Kilban.
Yeah, Zinedine Kilban is not on this list.
Mignolet.
No. Was only here about 3 years.
Bardsley.
Bardsley in at number 3,
There
174.
we go. Nice. L12 Bong's gone Fletcher.
Stephen Fletcher, no, didn't make this list there. I think he did do about
Milton
3 or 4
Nunes.
years. Milton Nunes, yes. No, he's not.
Chris Macon.
No, Chris Macon. I'll try and say, so the 2 players that are left both sort of filled, primarily I would consider they both played the same position, but as an outfield player, not goalkeepers. Not at the same time, of course, but you've got to be thinking 2008-ish for one of them, and then 2011-ish for the next one. Kieran Richardson is in at number 7. Yeah.
Nice.
And where does he primarily play?
Right wing, wasn't he? Was he got the right? Or
Left.
Left.
Stuart Wall's gone Gooch.
No.
Defoe, Sessignon.
No, not Sessignon.
Super Adam Johnson.
Name redacted is in at number 10. Yes,
Name
it was Adam Johnson.
Is it?
Name
Yeah. Name redacted is in at number 10. Yeah. With 122.
Is that it?
That's your list. O'Shea, Larson, Bardsley,
Dwight
Mickey Gray,
York.
Catamol, Phillips, Richardson, Quinn, Sorensen, and Johnson. Name redacted.
There you go. Excellent. Cool. Well, that's that done. Wayne's.
Well, I did have a bit of a
Wayne
question.
doesn't love you all enough to make a game this week.
He's been ill. So just
Please comment below.
I want to know what, like, at this point, would you actually think we need to go far in the FA Cup?
I
don't say need, but like
I'd
we
be
should
happy
be aiming
if we.
to.
I'd be happy if we made a decent run at it. I'd be obviously happy if we got some silverware and stuff, but I don't want to see it at detriment to the league. Would be.
Well, I'm the opposite. I think like what Conrad said. Now we're almost 99.9% certain of staying up, which was always the aim this season. And I'm like, you're wanting Europe and what have you. But for me,
you're only 6 games away from Europe in the FA Cup.
If we finish mid-table and have a good cup run, that'll do me just fine.
Well, I looked up the last few years, how many points you needed to survive. It was in the 20s for the last 2 years. And then 3 years ago, when all 3 promoted teams stayed up, you only needed 34. Yeah. So you've got to think you're aiming for potentially 5 points more in the next 18 games, really, is what you're looking for there. So I think you can afford to have a go at the FA Cup, and it's not going to matter too much. And I think the way we've seen Labrie go, he's not going to be like, right, let's all burn out on the FA Cup and sack off the Premier League.
Still playing the game, sorry.
Yeah. He's not going to sack off the Premier League at all. And he knows how to game manage, especially the games that we've had, and they're coming thick and fast as well. So I could see him giving it a proper go and sort of then still managing to pull out a result on the weekend after.
Emma doesn't want it because she can't afford either hotels or Wembley or flights.
I mean, to be fair, you're on about points. We could have them points in the bag in the next few weeks. We've got
absolutely
Burnley, West Ham to play. You know what I mean? I know
Crystal Palace at home when they're not doing well, and they're in the middle of other competitions as well.
So 4 points in 4 games is just not good enough, I don't think. And I get like, it's a good point against City's good. It's a good point against City's good. But a point against Spurs isn't good compared to the positions we were in. And there's a team right behind us in the league now chomping at this bit. And so how do we turn this round going into Brentford? What can we do differently going into Brentford?
I get what you're saying, Mike, though, but for me, a point at Spurs, right, is not a bad result for me. I know you're saying where they are in the league, but end of the day, Spurs have got some quality players, and if they turn up on the day, you get tanked. So for me, a point at Spurs, I'd have took your hand off for a point at Spurs. City, you'd have took your hand off, you know.
Yeah.
Brighton,
Leeds.
Well, Brighton, that was only a disappointing one for me because Brighton, I thought we should have won. That was the game that was there for the taking. Leeds, Leeds were the better side. You have to hold your hand up. Leeds were better than us, especially second half. Wednesday, the same. I'd snap you in for a point against them Wednesday. I'd go 5 draws for me. Get all these players back and kick on from there.
Yeah. Well, what do we change though, Wayne, going into this Brentford game to make it 3 points instead of 1? Because we need a win.
I don't
think we need a win. It's not need. It's not like it's not like an absolute. Oh my God, we need to win to be chasing, survival or anything. Again, what Wayne says, a point would be perfectly fine in this game and keep the sort of tally going. I get we want to qualify for Europe, but if there's ever games to pick up draws,
I just want to finish above them.
Yeah. I get that. And that's what I loved about Robbie's equaliser even more, that it kept us ahead of them for the 20th week in a row. But it was just one of those that was like, this time last year, or 2 weeks ago possibly, they were in 12th place with loads less points, and then they ended up getting a trophy and finishing in 5th. Do you know what I mean? They were always going to come good in the second half of the season. And with the amount of players that we had missing and injury to Ballard in 2 of those games as well, we just had to make sure we didn't cause any damage or sustain more injuries or, ruin the sort of confidence in there. So, yes, you sit there and go, Brighton, a point away, you go, on its own, first game, you go, okay, that's fair. And then you go, oh, shit, we've had a bit of a shitter against Leeds, but we'll take a point. And then you've got the good Man City, and you go, right, we'll take a point there because they're good. And the way we performed against Spurs in the isolation of each one.
I get you. And I was happy with the point at Spurs after that first half. I was more than happy with it. And after losing to City so badly at their place, I was happy with the point there. It just feels like I don't want this to start.
Yes,
draw streak.
That's the one bit I completely agree with. That when you look at it, like everyone else is looking at us, going like, "Well, Sunderland are doing really well still." And it's like, if you actually look, we haven't won since Newcastle.
No,
and which was just about. Well, it's only about three weeks ago, really, because the amount of games that you've got within that sort of time. But
it's ridiculous, yeah.
If we'd have had a full strength team, like I said, but like quite early on in the show, I think we'd have got 2 or 3 wins within that sort of game of 4 that we've just had. However, our away form is absolutely shocking. I was looking at it before the Spurs game. We've won twice.
Yeah.
Like in that, like, and then you consider at home. I was looking at the home record the other day going, we're unbeaten in 10. Fantastic. And then you read it and you go, you've drawn 5. And then I go, have we? Like,
we've only won 1 game in 7.
Yeah. But 2 in 8, though.
Well, 2 in 8. But I mean, honestly, all this talk of you, right, is
Matty not being Leeds.
Matty. All this
Imagine not putting Xhaka in your fucking 11.
He's never going to forgive you. He's never going to forgive you.
While we're on, though, I must say to Matty, commiserations. I heard that Leeds fan who died before the game on Sunday. That's shocking, that, mate. So, thoughts of all them, the family of the Leeds fan there. Terrible. But all this talk of Europe, right? For me, I'm not asked about Europe. Like, you've seen what's happened when these teams that have qualified for Europe, they haven't got the squad the season after they get relegated because they haven't got the struggle. So for me, we have a solid season, we stay up, have a good cup run, then make some more additions next season and see what happens. For me, we didn't want to run before we can walk. So
I get you. It's I'll never not be that optimistic, ambitious Sunderland fan. You know,
it's when you look at them in a row and you go like another draw. Like there was that point last season where didn't the Bree draw 7 in a row? Yeah. When we were like up near the top and everyone was like, that's getting annoying now. But I would quite happily draw the rest of our games unless he tries to tinker something and we start losing. Like,
I mean, like I say, we've got a half decent run. We've got Brentford. It's away game, so we've got to figure out this bogey of being away. But we've got Brentford, Palace, West Ham, and Burnley. You know, before we have Arsenal and Liverpool. Arsenal's an easy team, though. We can beat them. We know that. and Liverpool to our place. But there's 4 games there with potential 3 points written all over them. Brentford's difficult. The difficult thing in this league is half the travelling's to bloody London.
The thing with Brentford is they're free scoring at the moment. Yeah. Like I think was it a hat trick for Thiago and then a hat trick for Sharda 2 games ago as well, and they've got I think I read 17 more goals than us this season.
They've got in perspective, we've got 4 points from the last 4. They've had 10 points from the last 4.
Well, they're on a great run. Thiago's got 14 goals this season. We've only scored about 4 goals more than that in the whole team. So
we've got 21 in total. I said to Mike on our review yesterday that with 18th in the league in terms of goals scored.
But defensively, that's where we've picked the points up.
Defensively, we're the 3rd best.
Any point away from home in the Premier League is a good point from me. It's your home form that keeps you up, which so far so good. But the worry for me is not scoring goals. But have to fix that problem of scoring more than a goal a game.
Can I ask a question of how we fix that?
Well, does that fall into Paul's question?
Yes, because it falls into, where was it? Someone wrote it down before.
Our Barcelona superstar.
Yeah.
He's there.
It's weirdly, I don't believe it's going to happen at all, but I didn't with Xhaka either. But it's getting a lot of traction with a lot of sources.
But surely, if he's available, there's other teams going to be after him. I mean, I know there's like this 70 million fee being bandied about, but man, I know the Xhaka one was a little bit more believable, and with them, I thought that was true. But Fermin Lopez, is he really going to come to Sunderland?
No, I don't.
I very much doubt that.
Xhaka's convincing him as we speak. He's on the phone.
Well, that's the only thing is, you know, Xhaka's the pull of Xhaka will be to tell these players of how good it is that we're in the likes. We've got likes of Nordy, all these Champions League players as well. So that and how well we're doing is
30 mil to 70 mil, like as your biggest transfer.
By the sound of it, we've got a wonder kid in charge who makes a phone call, speaks to somebody for 5 minutes, and sells them on the dream. So I'm hoping he can carry that on.
Even if he doesn't come, the fact is that if we are in for the likes of him, that just shows you the statement what the owner's trying to make.
There's that as well. John Swinney put a good one on before, though. It probably won't be fixed this season. The goal scoring, it'll have to be one we look at over next season, and that's kind of right, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. In the next sort of 4 or 5 months, really, we're probably just going to have to get through. And then at the start of next season, everyone going second season syndrome. They don't score that many goals, and that's what will need to be addressed, really.
It feels like, if they buy a goal scoring striker and invest heavily in this January window, it's got to be all she wrote for either Mayenda, Isidore, or Brobby, or one of them or two of them, whether that's on loan or whether that's
I reckon it game time. More likely Isidore. I think Mayenda's got a better future ahead of him, if that makes sense. I think he definitely could be a better sort of player. I still think at the minute Isidore was, or earlier on, Isidore was contributing more than Mayenda, but it's Mayenda's now coming into it as well. So I think you obviously keep Robbie and you play Mayenda out there with him until the AFCON lads are back. But I think Isidore's going to probably be the unfortunate one that'll have to make way.
Good point there. The fact is you could have Mbappe up front for you. If you didn't get the service to him, then he didn't score goals either. I think
is it though? Is it that because, or is it just not pulling the trigger? That's seems to be the problem I identify at the moment. It's not a case of we're not getting it in good positions. If we got somebody who can shoot and take the shot,
I think it's not getting it to the striker. We get into good positions, but the amount of times at home and away, I've been there, shoot, or like there was, which game was it? There was one where Talby just didn't, or Fulham, where he just didn't pass it over to whoever was over on the left hand side in acres of space, and it was just pass it to him right now. Bit me on tongue, pass it to him, but no, just didn't.
Yeah.
Also, as well, you cannot rely on the strikers. How many goals have we got from midfield this season? Jack has got one, and Sadiqi's got none.
Diarra's got
two,
none.
Lafia got
Both
two
penalties.
Two penalties. So we need that goal scoring midfielder as well.
Xhaka's got that shot on him. I just don't know why he's not pulling the trigger more often.
Because it's a style of play. It's how
Absolutely.
we're playing
It's
side to side
totally.
and getting. It's a bit like the old Arsenal of all they do is pass it around and then try and walk it into the net. It's a little bit like that instead of actually having someone who goes, "I've had enough of this," bang, and just shoots from anywhere.
John says, who is Diarra going to place in the first 11? I think Wayne mentioned before that'd be Lafie for him. So it's all
at the minute. For me, it'd be a Dingra when you move Enzo out that side and give him a sort of license to move infield as well.
I don't think he's done as well on the side though. I think that's where
he hasn't. But you can't play. You can't play them all, and I think they're both better than a Dingra.
Yeah. We shall see. Changes going into this one, Conrad. Any changes for the team starting 11? Or would you go in with the same one that took on Spurs?
I'd love to be able to give them a rest. And if Reynaldo is hopping on his plane as we speak, then hopefully he could play some part of it, but I very much doubt he will. So I would imagine it's going to be the exact same team that we saw against Spurs and City.
For me, Ballard. Ballard will be in the back three. I'd have Ballard in.
Would you take Hume out? Move Gertrude into the middle, or would you take Gertrude out?
No, I'd keep Gertrude in.
He's fantastic. He is.
I'd have Certain and Nordy as the wing backs.
Or do you put Hume at left back and take Sirkin out?
I don't know. I didn't like Hume on the left hand side at least. I think if we play wing backs, I think Sirkin's better going forward. So for me, I'd probably have Gertrude. I'd have Gertrude, and I'd have wing backs with. I've lost my train of thought now. What was I saying?
You were talking about Ballard.
Ballard, Nordy, Alderete with Gertrude and Certain. Maybe I don't know. With Hume, will probably miss out for me.
Just because you mentioned it there, we've not really spoke about it. What are your guys' thoughts on Sirkin's come back into the team?
Well, he was poor against Leeds. I mean, he had a much better game against Man City. And he didn't do too bad on.
He didn't do anything wrong. He didn't do anything right against Spurs.
Is he still fringe at this level?
Yeah, he's contributing, but he's not exceeding.
He just like John's just been saying. He just kind of defend. He gets caught out. I mean, the goal, the Leeds goal. What he's doing, pressing their fucking centre forward, their goalkeeper. Fuck me.
Yeah. Did you see? He didn't do that against City. They were like, "Stop it! Don't run." Yeah. For me,
a few people have mentioned now. Hume is also a threat from shooting. He's the only one that's not scared to shoot outside the area. So if you drop him, you also drop a potential attacking option.
But we say that he's had two shots from distance, and neither of them have gone in.
Well, it's just a matter of time.
I agree. I think someone needs to shoot a bit more, but especially from distance. But I think Xhaka sits on that sort of 30-yard sort of line on the edge of the box, whereas his goal was actually when he got to the edge of the box, and it sort of was cut back for him really in that sort of position. And don't forget, it was going to be saved until it got a massive deflection and went in against Everton. For me, Hume then probably drops out, I would say, and you probably put Gertrude in the middle, because you've got the option then of if shit's hitting the fan, you can still revert to a 5 and sort of do that.
They can drop in, yeah.
We've
been quite good at that. The transition player's been good this season.
Yeah, I didn't get what Tyler's in there, but it doesn't get negativity. Are we being negative? Have we ever been negative?
I didn't see that one. Where was it? Where is the bastard?
I don't know. Well, I'm being negative because I don't like 4 draws, but there we go.
It's just that. Really don't get negativity, lads. We are 8th in the first year back in the Prem. Lefia's been one of the best
We're
players.
not negative. Yeah. We're buzzing.
I'm pretty sure Mike said he was one of the best players as well, and I think we're just sort of expecting some differences. That's all, and it's a bit like if you'd have asked us these questions in September, we wouldn't be saying this. But the fact is, this team have been very consistent at sort of overachieving and overperforming. So when they do hit a slight dip and a slight sort of bad moment in games, we're a bit like, well, hang on, that's not normal. Like, why is this happening here?
But we're not kicking off. We're assessing it, right?
No, there's completely. You're allowed to see both sides of an argument on here without being called negative or without being called overly positive. I think Mike's mostly delusional most of the time at this point. He actually explains it. I'm a bit like, well, I could see that it could happen. There's nothing that says that can't sort of happen with it there. But I don't have a go at him about it. I just sort of go, fair enough.
He just sniggers behind my back.
The one thing I've had a go at him about is when he said Ballard was worth 15 million only. Like that's
we've talked about the market value, not what you'd sell him for. Let's not go back down that rabbit hole. The last question on this game coming up, I want to ask you: does Brobby start because of his goal, and does he get 90 minutes, or does Labrie still do this? 60 minutes in change?
Depends if Wilson's fit. If Wilson's
even if he's fit.
Nah, I think if Wilson's back on the bench, then Wilson will come on after 60 minutes just because of the amount of games that Brobby's played. So I still think he'll change it.
And I think so as well. I think if Wilson's fit, you're more likely to see Isidore come on about 60, 70 to give Brobby a bit of a break, more likely ready for the Everton game.
Yeah. Cool. Excellent. Predictions is the last bit. Before we do predictions,
Bowers has got his predictions in his video as well.
Let's do Bowers, who will bring us on to the predictions. While Michael Bowers is serenading with
both
his
games,
dulcet tones,
Brentford
get all
and
your
Everton
predictions in the chat. For what? Both games?
Both games, because we don't have another show beforehand.
All right. Okay. So get your predictions in for Brentford and for Everton.
And I suspect the lads will probably want my score predictions for the next 2 games, because I don't think we're recording one between Brentford and Everton. So I'll say we will draw 2-2 against Brentford. I think Brentford's a really hard game. I think it's harder than people think it is, because it's only Man City who have gone to Brentford and won. Man United have gone there, Chelsea have gone there, Liverpool have gone there, Tottenham have gone there. Out of the traditional big 6, if you like, I think it's only Arsenal that hasn't gone to Brentford. And they've beaten Newcastle, they've beaten Aston Villa, they've thrashed Bournemouth recently. They're a really good team at home. And they've obviously got a good win against Everton at the weekend. So I think a 2-2 draw. I wouldn't be surprised if we lost, but I think if we can find that extra bit of effort, we are capable of getting a draw. Don't necessarily see us winning, but I think I would more than take a draw now if I was offered it. But if we lose, we're at least on that 30-point gap going into the game against Everton. And then the Everton Cup game, I'd like Labrie to take this seriously, but I don't know whether he will or not. He should do, considering that I've always said 40 points, and he said the same thing. We're 3/4 of the way to 40 points now, even though we're not going to need 40 points to stay up, really. Let's be honest. But I still stand by 40 points as the immediate target, and then once we get the extra 10 points, we go from there. But yeah, I'll tell you, screw it. I'll be positive for Everton. I think we will win 2-1 after extra time. There you go. Obviously, it goes to extra time and penalties now. There's no replays, which is a good thing in terms of, fatigue and managing everything else. But if we can get through this, and the good thing, actually, is hopefully, at the time of this video, I think there's a couple of nations at AFCON still playing a knockout game. I think one today, one tomorrow, maybe one on Wednesday, I don't know. I'm hoping that the likes of Reinildo, Siddiqui, and Traore, maybe Masuaku, of course, with Siddiqui. Obviously, I hope they play well, but selfishly, I hope their nations get knocked out, because there's a chance they'll be back for Everton if that's the case. But we're getting through the AFCON period, we're still getting points on the board. Let's see what happens this week. And I'll hand it back to the lads in the studio. Take care, everyone. Love yous all lots.
A Wolverhampton reporter, I love that.
In the studio, spread over 3 houses.
Yeah, 3 channels, 3 houses. Yeah,
excellent. So he's gone for a Desmond Tutu for the Brentford game, and he's gone for a win.
Cleopatra 2-1.
Yeah, there we go. So before we get all the ones in the chat, Conrad.
I hadn't even thought. So let's go Wayne.
You know what? I've got a sneaky feeling we might go into Brentford and get a win. I'd be more than happy with a point. I really would. A point would be a crap result, but I just think that type of game Brentford on the run they're on, they might come in a little bit too cocky and just underestimate us a little bit too much, and I think we might surprise them. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to us, Brentford.
Okay.
And I think we'll lose at Everton just because our record in the FA Cup's absolutely shocking. And I think the change he will make changes. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 defeat. I hate predicting us get beat, but a 1-0 defeat at Everton.
I'll go for Brentford. I'm similar thinking to Wayne a bit, but a bit more goals. I'm thinking we're going to go there and properly frustrate them, and they're going to be overconfident, and it's going to be a 2-1 win for Sunderland there, and then break that.
Away goals all season.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we told all these records before Arsenal that nobody had scored against them, and look what we did. So this is what we're all about. Everton, I can see us nicking that 1-0. Same sort of thing. I think he'll play the kids. I think we'll be really struggling, and it's going to go extra time. Let's hope it doesn't go to penalties, but we're going to sneak it through at 1-0. I'm going to go for that one.
Very good.
Conrad, you've had enough time now.
Yeah, Brentford's our first opportunity this season, actually, to get 6 points off of a team, isn't it? And I think there'll probably be a little bit in the back of their mind about the manner that they lost at the Stadium of Light earlier on in the season with the last-minute goal, the penalty that they missed, and a disallowed goal.
Where due some of these shitty ref decisions in our favour, though? Because surely...
You would think. Although, I all the way up until about Everton, every VAR, everything went in our favour, really. It wasn't a big controversial decision. It was just the right decision was made at those sort of times. I've gone with a 1-1 against Brentford, another draw, just because I agree with what you were saying about how I think we'll go there and we're going to frustrate, because that's what we do very well. Where I don't want to say low block, but we're frustrated a bit like we did against Forest is probably the best example of it. And then they are very good. They've got a lot of things going for them, so that I think they could nick one, but then I really think we could as well. So I don't know which order it is. I more think if anyone's going to do it, we're going to get 1-0 up and they equalise. But I could easily see it being like Spurs as well, where we sort of grow into it, and they've already got one. And then against Everton, because I'm now going to the match, they better fucking win. We have a terrible record at Goodison Park, but this isn't at Goodison Park. This is at the Big Dick Stadium or whatever it's called now. And we're taking, 9,000 fans with us there, and Martin O'Neill is not in charge, so he can't piss about with a match against Everton in the FA Cup and ruin all our weekends. So it entirely depends on the fucking lineup, I'm going to be honest with you. Because I could sit here now going, we're going to blast them. We've got Ronaldo back, Siddiqui back, this one back. And then he turns up and plays Dan Neil as a fucking
Harrison Jones
six,
is starting.
Harrison Jones as a left mid, and you're just like, right, what the fuck are you doing, mate? Like, I already don't have a point on the board this season. You're fucking dicking about with a lineup now. So I think if we go to Everton, I don't want to go 1-0 because you've all gone 1-0, but then I'll kick myself if it's 1-0 and you get it.
That's the 1-0 defeat, though.
That's true. I'll go 2-0 Sunderland. I think we'll go there and frustrate. They'll be eager to try and get back onto a bit of form, and we'll hit them twice.
Okay, excellent, Mike. Let's with two scores from everyone. This is going to be a nightmare, but let's try and read through the comment ones. So John Bell has gone 2-1 to Sunderland against Brentford, and in the FA Cup a 2-0 loss. Steve has gone for Brentford 2-1 win, and then he's gone for Everton's going to be a 1-0 win. So both positive there. 1-0 to Brentford. Says Jimmy Paddy, and 2-0 to Everton. So two losses from Jimmy Paddy there. Both 2-1 lads. He just couldn't be bothered typing 2. So there you go. That's Steve Hewitts. He's just rounding them all together. Going for a 2-0 against Brentford and a 2-0 against Everton. I assume they're both wins coming from John Rosemeyer. Wolsey 1-1 in the Henderson derby and 2-0 defeat in the FA Cup because I'm going. There you go.
I'll see you there, Wolsey.
Mr. Bo Jingles has gone Brentford game 1-1, Everton game 2-1. So I think that's the win for the FA Cup. Paul Armstrong's gone Sunderland 2, Brentford 1. Miles of Sunderland has gone Sunderland 2, Brentford 1. Paul Armstrong has gone Everton 1, Sunderland 1 for the FA Cup 1. L12 Bong has gone 1-0 to Sunderland against Brentford and has gone 2-1 to Sunderland against Everton. Miles of Sunderland has also gone for 2-1 against Everton. Lots of wins for the FA Cup. We have faith still. I love it. Mozambique lost 4-0. There you go.
We didn't ask for that prediction.
John W has gone for 2-1 in the Cup. I'm sorry if I've missed any of these. I'm doing my best. Beat Brentford 3-1. Everton, depends if he plays the reserve team. We might lose 2-0. SJ has gone 1-1 for one of them. He doesn't know which. We'll say both. And that is it. Thank you very much. That's the score predictions. So if you've not managed to get them in the side chat, make sure you get them in the comments afterwards.
Score predictions updated table is ready. That is the bottom of it, so I'm not taking the banner off there.
Wasn't I on 2?
No, you were not on 2. You have never been on 2. Pack it in. I'm not even on 1, so I know exactly where you are. Trust me, because I need to finish above you. So, Sai, John Swinney.
Look at Wayne wanting to get himself a Black Cats TV T-shirt at the end of the season.
Brian Green and Johnny Cool all got a win in the other game, so that means that they're up there as the leaders of the board now. Everyone else is there on 2, including Michael Bowers is in there. Mike, you're in 16th place, or joint 30th, as I like to call it, and I am currently 31st with 0 points.
Inquiry, Conrad, L12 Bong said he got the City score correct.
Where was that one? Is it on our video? I'll have to go. Well, why am I asking like he's going to ransom me? Right. If it's on our preview video, that's fine. I'll go back and I'll look, mate. But that would put you at 31st. So well done, you. I'm now 32nd. But that's the main thing, though, that you're right there, Steve. That is exactly right.
No, L12 Bong would be on 3. That's what he's saying.
Is he on there somewhere else? I can't read.
He's 4th. He's 7th.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
can't get the staff, guys. Sorry. Conrad, I'm on 2. There we go. Right. So send all your complaints to Black Cats TV 1973 at gmail.com and he will sort them all out. So there we go.
Send me screenshots of which videos you put the comments on. These live streams do not count. It has to be on our preview video or Wayne's preview video. But I've got some memes for you as well. So, Alan Shearer. There you go. Reminder to all you deluded Newcastle fans, we are not a big club. We think just Saudi sports washing product, the current Premier League, top 8 below, just as, can't speak, happens to be the 8 most successful clubs in the league's history with 91 combined top flight titles. That was actually not Alan Shearer's account, but it's just funny to think that it is. Of course, this one at the darts, if you like your darts, your dad wears his tune top to Sam Fender gigs. And then, of course, this one, Sunderland in 2022, Sai. Who are you like? I'm a time traveller from 2026. Did you know by January 2026, Sunderland are 7th in the Premier League, captained by Granit Xhaka, above the Mags and unbeaten at home all season? Wait, it's true. The future is bright.
Did you see there was something on Facebook earlier today where I think it was literally one minute after Newcastle scored at the weekend and Tottenham scored that they were above us for 45 minutes, and like some maggot prawn mind the gap. Like, they were like 1 minute after they went above us. Like, for fuck's sake, man!
They've been waiting all season though for it. So
they've got them all queued up. That's it.
Matty, if you're still watching, you are playing fucking Leeds on Wednesday, so you are playing Newcastle on Wednesday. You've got to do the job against them because come Wednesday night, the league table could look a lot different.
Yeah, well, I'm supporting Leeds definitely for that one. I think we all are.
Bo Jingles, it's not in the comments of our preview video, so where is it?
Wrong
Just so
video.
I can find it.
Doesn't count.
Yeah. I'll have to find if it's on either the Midweek Mackems comments or on the preview, I'll accept it, but I don't see it anywhere.
Shocking. Yeah. Oh, I can't get the stuff. I
can't. It's only because in these, when you put them in this live chat, I can't go back and review them afterwards. So therefore, it has to be done on a comment. It has to be done on either the comment of this video when it's finished, or on Wayne's preview, or
you can have live chat replay on these.
It does not work as well when you're sort of skimming through the video. It just plays it in like a
No,
slowed
watch
down.
the whole
order.
video then.
I'm not doing that again. It's bad enough I have to sit here with you for an hour and a half anyway, let alone watch it again.
Oh, can you feel the love? Can you feel the love? Well, I think that's us. If nobody's got anything else, 133 people still in here, which is absolutely awesome. Make sure you have smashed the like button, whichever channel you are watching on. Make sure you take the time to go across to all 3 channels and subscribe. And yeah, all got some great content. What's coming up next on yours, Wayne?
Just the usual, just the match previews and the reviews. I started doing a few match day vlogs, which have gone down quite well. So I didn't do one for the City game because I forgot the microphones like a tit. But the next home game, I'll have
Just shout. That's what I did for my vlog.
I've tried that, and you couldn't hear what me and Connor were trying to say. It was a waste of time. So
It is when you can hear us as well.
So just the usual. Obviously, bridging the gaps on tomorrow night with my mate Matty. So we'll be discussing a decent weekend for both clubs on there. So stay tuned for that as well.
Awesome. Excellent. And on Podcsst TV, we should have a live commentary for the game on Wednesday.
You know it's 7:30 kickoff, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Just checking.
Should be fine. There might be kids running around screaming, on fire, exploding in the background, but we will still do it. It's fine. And loads more news and all that lot, and our weathermen reports on transfers and etc. Blah, blah, blah. So, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. Wayne, would you like to say goodbye to everyone?
Yeah, thank you very much for everybody tuning in. Obviously, it's a Monday and a Wednesday, but there's good reason for that. But thank you very much. It's really appreciated. 100 people watching is fantastic. Subscribe to these other channels and all. Great channels with some great content in there. We'll see you in about a week and a half, won't it, the next one?
Time off.
No time off. You've
got 2 live streams to do within that time.
I don't need to do a live stream for Everton. You're gonna be there doing vlogging, aren't you?
Exactly.
Live from the ground.
Live from the ground.
Just to go back, John. Yes, it's tomorrow at 4. That one comes out as well. You've done it there as well, where you've spelt it properly. Yes, tomorrow at 4. Yes, get your comments in on that one. Bo Jingles. I've just checked both videos. No comment for
L12 bong. You try L12 bongs as well.
What was his one as well? Where did he say he put his one?
He just said he got the City score. I didn't say where he put it.
They might be doing it before kickoff in my live.
Well, then you should be telling me if they win then after the lives.
My job's not the numbers and the admin. That's clearly yours forte. Right, we'll have this domestic after it goes off. Conrad, would you like to say goodbye to the people?
Fuck you. Yeah, thanks all for watching. I go and have a right paddy after this, apparently. We'll see you all tomorrow for the preview. Get your comments in that video, and then join us for a live stream on Wednesday night.
Awesome. Right. Yep. Same for me. Thanks very much. Goodbye. All that lot. See you in a bit.
Midweek Mackems, we're back on the show. Talking Sunderland and everything you know.
Conrad's got the numbers, proper stats machine. Mike's optimistic, living out the Mackem dream.